नाजरीन, आज जो प्रोग्राम वा टीवी की तरफ से हम आपके लिए लेके आए हैं, इसे कराची सिटी एसोसिएशन में ह्यूस्टन के अंदर अरेंज किया। पाकिस्तान के सफ़ीर वाशिंगटन से तशरीफ़ लाए मोहतरम जनाब जलील अब्बास जलानी साहब। बड़ी खूबसूरत बातें हुई। बड़ा पढ़ा लिखा तबका पाकिस्तानियों का वहाँ मौजूद था। उसके अलावा पाकिस्तानी तालीम याफ्ता लोगों के अलावा वहाँ पर अमेरिकन इलेक्टेड ऑफिशियल, जिसमें हमारे कांग्रेसमैन एल ग्रीन, हमारे सिटी काउंसिल मेंबर्स और जजेस, काउंटी ऑफिशियल्स के साथ साथ हैरिस काउंटी के शेरिफ भी मौजूद थे। बड़ा अच्छा प्रोग्राम था। सही शेख साहब ने इस प्रोग्राम को अरेंज किया। वैसे तो आप जानते हैं कि ह्यूस्टन में बहुत सी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं। जब भी किसी ने अपनी तस्वीरें खिंचवानी होती हैं, एक एसोसिएशन बना लेता है, कभी कोई पैक बना लेता है, या कभी कोई कल्चर सोसाइटी बना लेता है, या कभी PAGH के नाम पर कुछ हो जाता है, इसलिए कि अखबार में तस्वीरें लगवानी होती हैं। मगर कराची सिटी एसोसिएशन ने बहुत काम किया है। इन्होंने जब भी पाकिस्तान को इनकी ज़रूरत पड़ी, सीसा पिली दीवार बनकर पाकिस्तान के साथ कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर ये खड़े हो गए। एक शख्स तो नहीं, बहुत से लोग हैं जिन्होंने पाकिस्तान के लिए इसमें काम किया है। अगर एक शख्स का नाम लूँ तो ये बहुत नाइंसाफ़ी होगी उसमें कि ये क्यों हम सिर्फ एक शख्स का नाम लें। एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वो होती है जिसके पीछे बहुत से लोग होते हैं, पूरी कम्युनिटी होती है जो उसको एक कामयाब एसोसिएशन बनाती है। कराची सिटी एसोसिएशन पाकिस्तान के हालात से आजकल जैसे जा रहे हैं, आप बड़ी अच्छी तरह से उसको समझते हैं, जान रहे हैं, देख रहे हैं टेलीविज़न पर कि पाकिस्तान में क्या हो रहा है, किस तरह से जुल्म व तशद्दुद एक हुकूमत निहत्ते आवाम पर कर रही है। ये नाइंसाफ़ी है, ये सही नहीं। इन चीज़ों को मद्देनज़र रखते हुए एज ए नॉन रेजिडेंट पाकिस्तानी जो पाकिस्तान से बाहर हैं, हम ये चाहिए कि हम अपनी हुकूमत पर ज़ोर डालें कि ये तशद्दुद और जुल्म रोको और तरक्की की तरफ मुल्क को लेके जाओ। जैसा कि आपने देखा, हमारा हमसाया मुल्क भारत हमसे कहीं आगे चला गया। कितना गरीब था भारत। कल तो भारत के पास बिजली भी नहीं थी, बिजली भी वो पाकिस्तान से ख़रीदना चाहता था। आज हमारे पास बिजली नहीं, आज हमारे पास पानी की प्रॉब्लम हो रही है। भारत डैम पे डैम पे डैम पे डैम बनाता चला जा रहा है। और जब हम सिंतास के मुआहदे के तहत कुछ लेकर आते हैं तो ये सिर्फ ये कहकर खामोश हो जाता है कि हम तो डैम बना रहे हैं, आप तो कुछ भी नहीं कर रहे। ये हमारे हुक्मरान क्या कर रहे हैं? ये सिर्फ हमारे हुक्मरान लैपटॉप पास करते हैं। लीजिए लैपटॉप, लीजिए 50,000, 2 लाख, 5 लाख लोन, कारोबार कीजिए, और इस तरह से वोटों को ख़रीदा जाता है। आइए कराची सिटी एसोसिएशन की ये चंद झलकियां प्रोग्राम की देखते हैं और फिर आपसे इसके बाद बात होगी। याद रखिए, वा टीवी, वन एंड ओनली, फॉरगेट अबाउट द रेस्ट, वा टीवी is the best. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Amen.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cristal Montañez Baylor, and on behalf of the Houston Karachi Sister City Association, the Consul General of Pakistan Commercial Section, the Greater Houston Partnership, and the Houston Office of Protocol and International Affairs, it is my pleasure and privilege to welcome you to this luncheon featuring His Excellency Mr. Jalil Abbas Jilani, Ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan to the United States.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed an honor for the Houston Karachi Sister City Association to be hosting the highest governmental dignitary representing the government of Pakistan, and very especially the government of Pakistan, of our beloved motherland Pakistan. This afternoon, as the president of Houston Karachi Sister City Association, which is also known as HKSCA, I take this opportunity to formally welcome His Excellency Mr. Jalil Abbas Jilani, the Honorable Ambassador of United States of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we would like to welcome Ambassador Jilani here. Thank you very much, sir. It is my pleasure to recognize our elected government officials. And we have Mr. John Shike from Waa TV. Mr. John Shike is here somewhere. Thank you very much, sir. You're doing also a very good job. Besides that, we have in print media, we have Mr. Shamim Sayyed, Pakistan News, one of the very, very fine gentlemen here. And we have Mr. Tariq Khan from Pakistan Chronicle and Pakistan Journal. Thank you very much, Tariq Khan Saab. And we have Mr. Abbas here, Abbas Mahmood Ahmed, Mr. Abbas Mahmood Ahmed from Urdu Time. Thank you very much, sir.
Ambassador Jalil Abbas Jilani, it's our pleasure to welcome you to Houston. It's my pleasure to be among so many distinguished delegates from Pakistan and citizens of Houston. I'm going to deviate from my prepared remarks. I have some numbers of trade, which, by the way, from 2012 to 2013, the trade between Houston and Pakistan grew 27%. But because that number has yet to reach $1 billion, in my mind, we have a lot of work to do. So our relationship, a very special relationship with the Houston-Karachi Sister City Association and with the Karachi Chamber of Commerce, those are key relationships for the Greater Houston Partnerships and for all of us here today to continue to work hard to increase those trade numbers. But I'm reminded, seeing one of my most admired Houstonians here, a former city council member, the Honorable M.J. Khan. It reminds me, Mr. Khan, when Pakistan International Airlines decided they wanted to fly to Houston. I worked for the Houston airports at the time, and to be very honest with you, I really didn't have much knowledge of the Pakistani community in Houston, but I learned very quickly when the airline approached the Houston airports to say, look, these people won't leave us alone. We're going to fly to your city from Karachi. And so we need a slot at your airport, at Intercontinental Airport. But it was quite a wonderful experience. And while that air service didn't last as long as we would have liked, council member, it really shined a light on the amazing ethnic community, Pakistani community that exists here in Houston and has grown over the years, and has now become a very integral part of Houston's international outreach. Ambassador, I'm very happy to tell you that your representatives from the government here at the Consulate General of Pakistan in Houston is outstanding. My humble opinion is that it's one of the best in your system, not just in the United States, but around the world. Because
I appreciate you so greatly that if you are in need of another please see me. You've done outstandingly well. I also would like to say, Mr. President, President Shike, there you are, Mr. President. You mentioned the medical center. The medical center, with reference to telemedicine, is something important to me. The medical center happens to be in the 9th Congressional District. And I would like to pledge here and now my good offices to do all that we can to facilitate the telemedicine project that you're working on, and I look forward to what you're doing to get this done. To this end, I'm going to ask one of my aides to come up and give you a card right now. Sam Merchant, who works with us, will do so. Thank you, Sam. We want to make sure that we get this done. To His Excellency, it's an honor to be in your company today. To the members of the Consular Corps, including the Consul General from Pakistan, who has served us in a most able, a most capable and competent and qualified fashion. We are so proud that you have him as your colleague here in Houston, Texas, and I beg that we give him another expression of appreciation. I am also honored, I know that Councilmember Nguyen may have left, but I want to mention him. I want to mention Councilmember Gonzalez, and I'll be asking them to come up in just a moment because I'll make a presentation. And it's always an honor to be in the company of the former city council member, the first Pakistani elected to city council in the city of Houston, and who has still served the community well. I have to mention Chris. Chris is a Republican. Some of you know this. I am a Democrat. I hope all of you know this. But Chris and I work together, and I am proud of our association. Chris and I have done some things to help people in the area of voter registration. Chris, I want to thank you very much for what you've done. Would you give Chris another expression, please? Having served in the judiciary, I understand the importance of judges. And I marvel at the number of judges that we have here today, Your Excellency. And it is a wonderful thing to see judges taking time from their work, which is a calling, to be here. So to the judges, just stand, please. I just want to see my judges again. These are judges here in Houston, Texas. I have to mention Marty McVeigh. Marty McVeigh is with USAID. Marty McVeigh, USAID. Marty McVeigh tells me that our latest round of funding is $400 million for Pakistan. Is this correct? $400 million for Pakistan. Here at USAID. That is $400 million in aid, Sheriff Garcia, in aid. And that is a wonderful thing. We need the aid to Pakistan. I was in Pakistan after the horrific circumstances that caused so many to lose their lives. I was there. And I would go again in a heartbeat if anything happens to the people of Pakistan. We have a relationship and kinship with the people of Pakistan. $400 million in aid is wonderful. But I must tell you, it would be much, much better to forego the aid and have billions of dollars in trade. Billions of dollars in trade. Trade always supersedes aid. Aid is wonderful in a time of need, in a time when we have catastrophe, when we have disasters. We want to be there with the aid. But the trade is something that's there every day. This is why we have the Houston-Karachi Sister City Association. Not just to acknowledge the aid that we send, but to facilitate the trade that we must do with each other to make our Sister Cities Association meaningful. We have to have that trade. The trade is what's important. Now, as you can see, I get wound up, so please forgive me. But I'm always honored, thank you, Sheriff. I'm always honored when I'm among the members of the Pakistani community. For edification purposes, the Pakistani community has always been very supportive of Houston, of the state of Texas. And if I may break that from the macro to the micro, they have supported me. And I'm thankful to the Pakistani community for the years of support that I have received. I thank you very much. Finally, these words, I think I've covered just about everybody, but I'm going to look at my notes to be sure. I've been given a good many cards, and I think I have everyone covered. So let me do this rather quickly and say just these words very briefly. First, I want you to know the reason I'm being short, the reason I'm going to be terse and laconic, pithy and concise, is because I have another meeting. If I didn't have the next meeting, Sheriff, I could enjoy this. But I can't today. I have to go. I'm meeting with police chiefs. I think I have 4 police chiefs that I'm meeting with in neighboring cities. But I want to say this. Relationships, as I have talked to the ambassador, to His Excellency, are looking up between the United States and Pakistan. This is important. Pakistan has been a valuable ally. A valuable ally. It is important that these relationships get stronger. It's important that not only do we have the trade, the aid, but also that we have relationships between our military. It is important that we continue to work together. There are some great issues in this world that have to be addressed, and they can be best addressed if the United States and Pakistan are working closely together. So I welcome you to Houston, Texas, Mr. Ambassador. I see yours as a mission of goodwill, an opportunity for us to foster better relationships. And when we are back in Washington, D.C., I have already pledged to you that you and I will have dinner. We will do it at your place or in the House dining room, but you and I will have dinner and we will further our discussions, because as a representative of the Pakistani community in the United States Congress, I want to make sure that I am working closely with you so as to best represent my community.
पाकिस्तान के सफ़ीर से एक सवाल मैंने वा टीवी के CEO जान शाइक ने किया। मैंने उनसे सवाल किया कि आप बताइए कि पाकिस्तान के पास एटम बम है, पाकिस्तान में दुनिया में बेहतरीन मिसाइल बनाए, तो फिर क्या वजह है कि आज हमारे पास बिजली नहीं? क्या हम बिजली बना नहीं सकते, या कोई हमें रोक रहा है बनाने से, या हम बनाना ही नहीं चाहते?
Kind of again on the electricity side, there are some important developments which are taking place. We have initiated one mega dam, which is Wasu hydroelectric project. Work on that has already started. Next month we are also going to have a conference on Asha Dam. In addition to these two mega dams, work is ongoing on various wind, coal, thermal and other projects in Pakistan, and which would add about 10,000 megawatts of electricity in the next 3 to 4 years. The only thing, the problem is that Pakistan is developing at a fast pace. The population is growing. Unfortunately, in the past, we have not been able to cope with the kind of development that was taking place in the country. But I'm sure that the kind of work which is now being done, we will have a much better situation.
आपने अभी प्रोग्राम देखा, पाकिस्तान के सफ़ीर को सुना, कुछ और लोगों को भी देखा और सुना। पाकिस्तान की बेहतरीन तालीम याफ्ता कम्युनिटी से सब लोग, कोई डॉक्टर, साइंटिस्ट, इंजीनियर वहाँ मौजूद थे। ये सिर्फ फ़ोटो सेशन नहीं था। आमतौर पे तो जितनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ह्यूस्टन में हैं फ़ोटो सेशन के लिए होती हैं, और अखबार वाले को $100 दिए और फ़ोटोएँ लगवा दी, और 4 अपने दोस्त या 50 अपने दोस्तों को इकट्ठा किया, उनकी बेगमात को इकट्ठा किया, 100-150 लोग पैदा कर लिए और चंद सियासतदानों को बुलाया, जी वाह वाह वाह, ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बना दी। ये चीज़ कम अज़ कम हम ये कह सकते हैं कि कराची सिटी एसोसिएशन में नहीं, वो पाकिस्तान के लिए काम करते हैं। मुझे अच्छा लगा। मैं फिर एक दफ़ा कहूँगा कि मैं किसी एक शख्स का नाम नहीं लूँगा, क्योंकि ये सिर्फ ये होगा कि हमने उस शख्स को प्रमोट किया है। एक एसोसिएशन के पीछे बहुत से लोगों का हाथ होता है। हाँ, एक शख्स ऐसा है उसमें जिसे आप अक्सर देखते हैं, छोटे कद का, पतला दुबला इंसान, इतना काम करता है, फिरकी की तरह वो घूमता फिरता है हर जगह पर, लेकिन कभी उसने ये नहीं कहा कि मुझे ये दो, मुझे वो दो। अपनी जेब से पैसे लगाकर वो काम करता है। ये होता है पाकिस्तान से मोहब्बत। इसे कहते हैं इश्क़ पाकिस्तान। इजाज़त दीजिए, अगले प्रोग्राम से फिर आप में मुलाकात होगी। वाटी की तरफ से जान शाइक आपसे इजाज़त चाहता है। पाकिस्तान जिंदा हो, पाइंदाबाद।